This weekend, we're going to have the Dusk main and the Dawnwing Necrozma making their way into raid battles for 3 hours, which is like, what, a couple times now? But most importantly, we're going to check out, is this Pokemon going to be best as the Dusk main or the Dawnwing form in Pokemon Go? Where does it sit the best? How strong is it as one of the best attackers in the game? It is very strong. I'm going to give you a hint, and then we're going to check it out in PvP as well to see which of these two is the best one to go with, and are they both valuable in Pokemon Go? So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. So which of these forms is your favorite in Pokemon Go? Is it the Dusk main? Is it the Dawnwings? Regardless of whichever it is, I know that I might be not as hyped as I normally am, but that's because I actually am filming this quite late at night for you guys, but I gotta get this information out. So when we're looking at these Pokemon, we have the regular Necrozma that's going to fuse with the lunar energy into the Dawnwing or the solar energy into the Dusk main, and these Pokemon are extremely strong. So let's check them out in this game. So let's start off with the Dawnwings. This one's gonna be a Psychic and a Ghost type Pokemon, which is going to make it double weak to Dark as well as Ghost, which is slightly problematic. This Pokemon is going to max at 4,635 with an attack of 277, a defense of 220, and a stamina of 200, which makes this Pokemon pretty strong, pretty evenly keeled, a little bit more heavy in the attacker category, but it's still very powerful. This Pokemon is going to be single resistant to Psychic and Poison, double resistant to normal, and then triple resistant to fighting. So while it doesn't have a ton of strengths and weaknesses, remember everything that is not on this list that we talked about, including the double weakness to Dark and Ghost, is going to be hitting it neutral, which is okay because it is a pretty semi-bulky Pokemon, especially for how the attack goes. As far as its fast moves, it's going to get Shadow Claw, Psycho Cut, and Metal Claw. And as far as its charge moves, it's going to get Dark Pulse, Iron Head, Future Sight, Outrage, and Moongeist Beam. And Moongeist Beam is going to be one of those moves that we have to look out for this Pokemon, which then is going to transition us over into the stats of the Necrozma in the other form, which is going to be the Dusk main. It is going to be my favorite form that it has. This one is going to be a Psychic and a Steel type combination. So while this one is not going to have any double weaknesses, it's still going to be pretty good. Just as a reminder, the stats are going to remain the exact same, with an attack of 277, a defense of 220, and a stamina of 200. And both of these Pokemon are going to max out at 4,634, which is pretty impressive. So this one is going to be weak to Dark, Fire, Ghost, and Ground, and it's going to have a lot more resistances, which are going to include single resistance to Dragon, Fairy, Flying, Grass, Ice, Normal, Rock, and Steel. And then it's going to have that double resistant to Poison as well as Psychic, which makes these Pokemon pretty impressive. This one in specific, especially for PvP, is looking mighty good with all of those resistances. This one has fast attacks of Shadow Claw, Psycho Cut, and Metal Claw, with charged attacks of Dark Pulse, Iron Head, Future Sight, Outrage, and Sunstrike Steel, which is going to be that move that we have to look out for. So let's start it off with seeing which one is more powerful than which. So if we started off here, we got the Dawnwings, which is going to be Psycho Cut and Moongeist Beam at 63.7, which is the exact same as the Psycho Cut and Steel Strike on the Dusk main. Then we're going to move down the list with the Metal Claw and Moongeist Beam, which is cool. Then just a reminder, guys, if we go into Future Sight, it's going to be at 42.62, and then also 40.46 with the Dawnwings. The Iron Head on this Dusk main is going to be 39.7, while the Outrage is going to be 38.49, and Future Sight on the regular Necrozma, not great at 36.91. So just as a reminder, when we're looking at the ER value, guys, if it is going to be above 50, we're looking at a really viable attacker, but now we're looking at something even better. This one is sitting above 60. That makes it a very impressive Pokemon. So let's start off with the Dawnwings and check it out where it sits in the Ghost category. As the strongest Ghost types in the game, we have the Dawnwing Necrozma at Moongeist Beam at 63.07, followed by the Mega Mewtwo Y at 55.85, followed by the Mega Mewtwo X with 54.07, and then the Gengar in the Mega form at 52.21, followed by the Calyrex at 51.85. On the second page, we're going to have Shadow Mewtwo at 49.69, Mega Alakazam at 48.17, Shadow Chandelure, Mega Gardevoir, and Mega Bayonet. So actually in the game, this Pokemon is the strongest Ghost type out there. even when Mega Mewtwo comes out, it's still stronger than it. That's how strong this Pokemon is. It is an absolute game breaker, which is really impressive. So now let's check out the Dusk main, and then we will check out how strong these Pokemon are against everything else with their best movesets. Starting off the top, we have no surprise here. It's going to be the Dusk main at 63.07, followed by 10 points below, we have the Mega Metagross, and then the Shadow Metagross, so 53.11 and 50.94. Then we have the Metagross at 44.04, followed by the Zacian with the Crown Sword, and we don't even know if that's actually the moveset it's going to get, but that one is going to be at 42.32, followed by the Black Kyurem at 41.9, the Shadow Heatran at 41.77, the Shadow Excadrill, and so far down the list, including the Gigantamax Melmetal at 50.56. Wow, so both of these Pokemon are extremely impressive, guys. They are sitting at the top of both categories, respectively, including against some of the game-breaking Pokemon, such as Mega Mewtwo and Mega Gengar and Shadow Metagross and even Mega Metagross that is not even out yet. And once it does come out, it's still getting hit out by this Pokemon, which makes it very impressive. No wonder the Lunar and the Solar Energy is so expensive to be able to obtain. So now let's check it out as the best Pokemon in the game. Where does it stack up? So looking at the best Pokemon in the game, the number one overall is still the Mega Rayquaza with the Dragon Ascent at 73.98, followed by Mega Mewtwo Y at 65.02. And in the third spot, guys, we actually have the Dawnwing Necrozma with the Psycho Cut and Moongeist Beam at 63.07, tied in the third spot with the Dusk main with the Sunstrike Steel. Wow, that is really impressive. Then we have the Mega Mewtwo X with the Psystrike at 62.97, followed by the Mega Lucario, which is actually the 6th strongest Pokemon in the game. Extremely impressive. That Force Palm really bumped it up at 59.31. Then it's actually above the Shadow Mewtwo at 58.23 with that Psystrike. Then we have the Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, followed by the Mega Salamence, Shadow Salamence, and then we have the Mega Garchomp and Shadow Regigigas and down the list. So these Pokemon, as far as meta attackers, guys, are absolute yeses in my category. You have to have these Pokemon, and if you have multiple of them, power them up. They are extremely powerful, especially when we need them in Ghost and Psychic types. But if you do not have them in raid battles right now, wait until there's typing is needed. Have them in the power up ready Pokemon folder. And just a reminder, guys, if you do get them in lucky trades, that means that you're going to be able to power them up for half of the Stardust so you can have more of them. Obviously, you're going to need the XL Candy, which is going to be a premium, but this weekend you should be able to get a lot done because there should be a lot of trainers out there with these increased shiny odds. So now let's finish it off with the PvP. Where do these Pokemon sit? Well, if we're looking at in the Great League, they are not viable. They cannot go that low. In the Ultra League, they do not perform their best, but in the Master League, ranked number 4, we're going to have the Dusk main Necrozma. Yes, in rank number 4, and then in rank 15, we have the Dawnwing. So these Pokemon are also extremely valuable in these leagues, respectively. The Dusk main is going to have the moveset of Shadow Claw, Dark Pulse, and Sunsteel Strike. And then we have the Dawnwings with the Shadow Claw, Dark Pulse, and Moongeist Beam in rank 15. And then the regular Necrozma is going to be ranked 76. So if we do look at it stacked up overall, number 1 is Zygarde in the complete form, number 2 is the origin form Palkia, number 3 is Yveltal, number 4 is the Dusk main, followed by actually Rhyperior with that Rock Wrecker moveset, the regular Solgaleo, Ho-Oh, and Landorus. And then if we go to the second page, we have the 9 Kyurem, 10 Giratina Altered, 11 Marshadow, 12 Ho-Oh Shadow, 13 is going to be Palkia, 14 is going to be Groudon, 15 is going to be that Necrozma and the Dawnwings, followed by 16 is the Florges. So, do I need to say any more? I think the stats absolutely speak for themselves. These Pokemon are extremely strong, extremely powerful. They are very good as far as meta attackers, and they are great in PvP. While they cannot be used in the Dynamax or the Gigantamax forms because they are not a part of it, that is still a relevant thing to have in the game because these Pokemon are going to be potentially the top attackers in their respective categories for the lifetime of the game. So we'll see. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to go out there and raid this weekend, have your Megas on, check out this counter guide, and be ready to go. Take care. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.